Now, I wanted to talk about this different religion, that the fact that people with different religions can actually live together. Because the truth is that respect for each other is what I'm trying to express here. I can respect you. You are this religion, I am this religion. I understand what you need to do. You understand what I need to do. And we can live together. Our children can be influenced by both of us equally. And because we've trained them to be adults and independent in thinking, they decide which one they choose to. And either one. So I've seen families where father is Muslim, mother is Christian, and they have like 4 or 5 children, and half are Christians, half are Muslims. It happens that way because everybody, they were raised in a home where they were taught equally. Both parties had 50-50, and then they decided which one they wanted to go. And there was no hassle. So it's about you as a person respecting that my wife wants to be deputy governor under a separate party. And I respect her ambition. I respect her drive. And I don't want to kill that passion. So I will give you the support. I will give you the support as a husband in your party. But I am not a member of your party. But I will support you.
You see the technicality of this thing. The husband now is an Oba, a member of a party. Normally, he's
members of parties.
You just talk for the story saying
he said that the ruling party is.
We know what we are
but he's not officially a member. He's
but his affiliation
sentimentally attached to the ruling party.
Because when you're in, unfortunately, where we run traditional schools here, you're on the payroll of the ruling party.
Yeah. True.
So his means of livelihood is in one party.
Yeah.
We're talking livelihood now. The wife now have ambition. Now, as a family, when one person has such an ambition, that just as I said, if it was a one person was running for office, you need a common front. You need to show that you have your family's backing. That example that she gave, now that one, now in tough. That's why you had to disown the journey. If you're going to
I don't follow.
I'm not inside. I'm not among.
But is it possible for him not to
the way it is, we watered it. You see, this ideal, it's not possible with the culture that we have. I'm not talking of the cultures of our traditions, the cultures of our system, our society, where, there's a, I don't want to call it a corrupt culture, where we cannot own what we believe in until because it can affect what we get as a person.
Let me take this call from Hassan. Hassan, are you there?
Good morning, Morales.
Good morning, sir. You're live. Go ahead, please.
You know, Shani, I understand you well. You are an anchor. You are an anchor. So you are trying to balance of things. Well done for doing your job. But you see, this issue of a wife, you understand, contesting under an opposition political party without you, the husband, knowing is an insult. And the husband can be dethroned for that singular act you are seeing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what happened in the First Republic. Oba Olateru of Owo was dethroned for taking sides with Akintola instead of Awolowo. The father of the late Alaafin of Oyo, Adeyemi, was dethroned for being in NCNC rather than be in AG, the ruling party in Western Nigeria. So, you see, this issue, I can see the aggression. You people are looking at it from you wanting this, you putting that. Let me tell you a recent happening. Buhari in 2019, go and check the picture is there. He was deriving to look at his wife, whether she voted for him or another party.
Yes, so we saw it.
You see, when we are talking this politics, leave this issue of somebody going his own way.
But Hassan, I get that, and I get the history the precedents we've seen. What I'm saying is, going forward, shouldn't we respect each other's ideology? Shouldn't we begin to come to the conversation where we say, in a home, we can be divided and we can respect ourselves, but we still love each other as a family?
Madam, we are talking of consciousness here. Leave the issue of understanding. You understand? If you are with me, you are with me. If you are not with me, let me know. Good morning.
God bless you, sir. God bless you. If you are with me, you are with me.
growing up, I have a family that, we were neighbors, close family, that I saw this issue of religion. Did you know that because their dad was Muslim and the kids later became Christian, I saw them mock their father at his burial? It was us neighbors who were doing the janaza for the late father who stood as his children. In fact, one of them was like, what are they even reciting? He had no respect, not to talk of love, because I know that deep in love is a respect for your loved ones. He couldn't even show it at the burial. So you see this debate we're having, it's a very tough one.
It is.
Me, personally, I couldn't take that risk ever, not to have a clear front in my own when it comes to religious issues. Because of that one experience, I saw it as in I lived with it. They did not tell me the story. I cannot just mention the name of this family publicly. So sometimes when we see these things, it goes deep beyond. The sister of that man was a Christian, but she was crying, grieving doubly because of the way the brother's children treated her late brother. She was like, is it this religion that you are carrying that is up to this? They considered it a consciousness, and they said because their father never, and so he was condemned for hell.
Let me take this call from Mashoud. Mashoud from Abuja, good morning, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
You're live, go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, this topic that you're discussing, I think a wife or a family, they should have one political view, because they say husband and wife, they are one. So if they are truly one, they should harmonize their political views, and they should not be seen to be divided. Can a husband be the president and the first lady who have a different political view and belong to another party? If she's supposed to be first lady, that means they share the same political view.
Yeah.
So if we cannot separate husband, who is the president, and first lady, how would they now belong to different political parties?
So, thank you, Mashoud. So what we're saying is that in this situation, what we would have probably told her is, don't run for another, don't run. So kill your own political ambition, because you can't get it in your husband's party, obviously, because maybe there's a structure and they don't know you don't have any structure to put you in there. But so you have now killed your own personal ambition,
So
simply because your husband is not in your party.
You have to pick what's most important to you. So
prioritize.
from time to time, we are faced with choices. Do I follow this my path, or do I sacrifice it because of this marriage? We are faced with choices every day. So you decide, because there's a reason for do not be unequally yoked in the scriptures. There's a reason for, don't avoid all this fight. There's a reason for it. Can two work together except they agree? There's a reason for it. Because it's been over the years that when there's a little discord, you are speaking English and saying, we can agree, we can disagree and still be friends and still live together and all of that. Most of us know how difficult it is to disagree with our husbands and have peace in the house. We know how difficult it is. When a man says, this is my stand, we know how difficult it is. So why are we going to be acting as if it's easy to just, understand your own? And I'm also worried because, when you're raising children, especially with this religion of a thing, you confuse these children. You confuse them. There were some concepts I was bringing up in the house, and my husband called me and said, we are going to confuse these children. You see, this your ideals and this your new beliefs and everything. Please keep it in your heart. Let us find a way to raise them in one. When they are adults, they can now choose the different aspects. We cannot confuse them. And I've seen, because every religion will tell you, especially the foreign religions, when it was our traditional religions, I've never seen where they were comparing each other. This is better. Come and join me. In your town, in your clan, you have your religion that you are grounded in. In your state and your culture, you have your religion. Nobody goes around preaching for you to live worshiping Ifa, to go and worship Amadioha. I've never heard it. It was the foreign religion that came that had this way of proselyting, where you go and preach and convert somebody. So even in that house where you have a Muslim and a Christian, there will be tussle for power. Who will be able to convince who to join this side? So that brings a form of division.
I get you.
When it comes to politics, because we eat from politics, we know how politics runs here. If the paying master is where your husband is, and you want to go and do something else. You have to find another person to feed you.
Yesterday,
Okay, let me take this call from Olubimi.
Okay.
I'll come back to you. Good morning, Olubimi. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you so much for this topic. Although it's always difficult to get you guys. You see, okay, Auntie Morayo, I would like to say that you have to listen to what you said about supporting your husband. I know a marriage of about 20 years that is having issues till now because the wife is not supportive. You know about love. Most times in marriage, it's about partnership, and that is you have to support and be loyal to your husband. They do that as it may. Then the issue of politics in Nigeria, we still practice sentimental politics in Nigeria. You know, I mean, like what my friend, the lawyer, keeps saying. She's my favorite. She says something, you know, she's always logical, maybe because she's a lawyer. When it comes to those things, the instance that she gave about the religion, that was very bad from those people. But when it comes to issues, the Oba saying he's disowning his wife, like the wife did not sit down with. Let's forget that thing that this Western world people say, what do you call it now, gender equality. Then, what is the president of the United States, former Clinton, the wife, when he had issues, the wife stood with him.
Yeah, true.
Throughout, she didn't say, I'm going to go and join the Republican because of that. She stood by him.
Yeah.
That support. And that man will love that woman till death. You understand? So you can't.
Okay, I think we've been able to thrash this issue. Get busy.
Bisi gave an example yesterday when we were talking about a girl who had to step down for her brother. And I remember saying that, you know, if it was her choice that she owned, no problem. So as a couple, Oba's wife is in running governorship, deputy governorship in another party. He can call his wife and say, this is how this decision you're making affects me. She can own it and say, I'm doing this for my family. Not necessarily, no, I'm not an empowered woman. You're not stepping down for anybody. There's a goal. There's something you must prioritize. Some relationships are more important than others. Yeah. And you think, okay, I'm doing this so that I keep my home, or I'm owning up this choice for the greater good. That way, not be say you do it because of, say, somebody is holding your mouth. You know?
But this is, we have to wrap up soon. In this story, I don't know the full story, but there's a possibility that this is maybe number 5, number 4, number 6 wife. You know how Oba has plenty of wives. So she doesn't feel that important. She doesn't feel like she's in the real scheme of things. Maybe the first wife is the one that is an Oba or moving with politicians and really enjoying the benefits, the dividends of this Oba-ship. She's maybe number 6 or number 7. And she's thinking to herself, I'm my own person. I want to do my own thing.
So let's say go work out.
Resign from the marriage.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just resign from the marriage.
And then you will not use the name.
If that's the situation.
You will not do it in a way it would affect him. It's okay. You can say, okay, because of this decision, that's his choice, so that I must run for the deputy governorship. I know that I stand a chance. You can say, okay, they leave house, leave the marriage, go and pursue your ambition, and don't let it affect him, so that it's clear.
Because if her party wins, would he not come back to come and say, my wife?
He will best Elena, he's over now. He will best Elena.
Let me take this call. Lawal, are you there? Our last call on this matter. Good morning, Lawal, are you there? Hello, Lawal, are you there? You're live.
I'm very good. I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Morayo, this issue is a very tough one, and I'll start from you. When you make your interest known about your APC or whatever, you know how people value on you, mainly because you are answer your view. That is just your own personal interest. And people say this, that. We are not talking of a wife to another. A wife and another is in the public domain. I so much keen to our discussion this morning.
It's not very clear, but I think I got. I didn't hear the second, but I heard the first part. My intent. I'm not a party member of APC. I don't know where this intention. I was invited to participate in the media and strategy group of that. That is what, and it's a job I'm doing. So I'm volunteering to support. Not that I'm not a party member. So that's not. I want to be sure that's not what he said. But I think he said that I have declared. I didn't declare for anybody. Okay. I think that is pretty much, in a nutshell. I would have loved for us to. It seems that we're not ready for that mutual understanding of each other. But I also hear the united front. I also hear the fact that, especially in the marriage, we make choices. Life is about choices. Life is about decisions. Life is about choosing which one to think. And I think that in life, it's all about sacrifices. Sacrificing for the greater good, sacrificing for the for your children and for the family. So in this situation, we would expect that the wife is able to understand the priorities in her family.
Or the husband.
Or the husband is also willing to understand the priorities. Maybe the new party, the wife is the real party. Give him the political power and influence the Oba so desires.
Yeah, but he has
never
not
know.
seen it yet.
So he needs to see. So somebody has to convince the other. But either way, two must agree to become one. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we're bringing our guests. Stay with us. We'll be right back.